you've got to have time for yourself.
I think having a life outside of university and the academic realm is super, super important.
Sometimes go to the beach. The beach is really good.
I come from an area of France which is on the coast, and so there's a very strong connection to the sound of the waves and the smell of the salt. And so when I moved to Adelaide, I moved as close as I could to the water.
I like to just go outside and you don't look at your phone, you take your dog for a walk and you're not worried about anything then.
Whenever I feel that things are getting quite stressful or there's a lot of tension around or I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed, I just put everything down, give myself an hour and go for a run. And invariably, when I'm back from the run, I'm like a different person.
I often get told, go out for lunch, because I'm really bad at that at sitting at my desk. So I often have to remind myself about those, and it makes a big difference.
Find a hobby, find something small. Like for me, I go to all the Adelaide United games. I love that, I love football.
I consider myself very active. So I do practice different sports. I'm passionate about soccer.
The thing about karate that I love is there's an element to danger to it. You know, if you're not completely focused on what you're doing, then you're likely to get punched in the face.
Once I've gone for a run, I sit down for 6 hours at a time and don't move and play video games.
Having those close friends, you don't obviously need to have hundreds. Just a few really, really close friends that you can be yourself with, and they also don't have to be kids at university. They can be people from anywhere.
For me, it's yoga. I started doing yoga since I came to Adelaide Uni.
I'm a big reader, so like reading books and just getting sunk into a story, I guess, and sort of just going somewhere else in my head is a big one. I also play piano, which is super relaxing.
When you can't do a pose, it's really challenging, and you start getting into these thought patterns of like, oh, you're not good enough, you can't do it, and then you're like, catch yourself out. You're like, hang on, yes you can. So it's like in itself like this safe environment to kind of challenge those ideas.
Patting animals, like there are proven studies that it lowers blood pressure, can calm anxious people, can help to build rapport a lot easier. Everyone comes into my office and knows Pepper and pats Pepper and is pleased to see her. She seems to kind of have a sense of the people that need a bit more attention than others. Like if someone's upset, she'll actually go to them and give them a bit of a nudge, and yeah. So I think it's really therapeutic. Students seem to love it, and I certainly love having her with me.
I spent the last 2 years working on getting my health back to good shape, so I've started yoga, I've stopped drinking alcohol and caffeine completely. I still eat chocolate, because you've got to do that.
I used to have a bit anxious. I used to get all that sort of stuff. So basically I just found that, getting some time to yourself, just breathing in, breathing out, really basic stuff, but it just really helps to cool everything off. And I did think I'm not as sketchy anymore, so.
I think the number one thing that we need to do is reduce the stigma of mental health issues, and talking about it is the only way to do it.
Make people see that they're not alone, that everybody at different points experience stress in different ways.
Often I think you just see the surface of things, and it's really just being able to find the time to dig a little bit deeper.
We've seen people, sporting stars and even people here on the campus who seem to have everything going, really well for them, and underlying they're actually going through a fair bit of hurt.
It's tough actually, because I lost a couple of friends to suicide, so that's a bit. So I do, something that's why when you stopped me, I sort of wanted to have a chat with you, because it's really rough, because sometimes they're struggling with it themselves. And you do see they're acting differently, and you just basically have to be supportive.
We have the privilege to be working or studying at this university. There are departments like counseling and disability services, who the staff working there are happy to help and assist the students in those difficult situations. We are here to make sure that the mental health begins with you, with me, with everyone.